Okay, so to copy files, code files or really any file, from your local machine onto an EC2 server instance, we're going to use secure copy. So let's take it from the top. We're going to launch instance. Now that we're running, I'm going to select, I'm going to hit connect just to get all this information over here. Now to copy from my machine onto the server, I'm going to go to my desktop, and assuming you have Git on your machine, you're going to right click on the home page, hit Git Bash Here. Alright, now I'm just doing a single file, so I'm going to cd over to the directory of that file. cd quotation paste and quote. Now to copy, I'm going to start with SCP for secure copy. This is copying using all the features of SSH. SCP-I. I'm now going to specify the path, or unless you're already in the correct directory, but I'm going to specify my key pair hem file. I'm going to put quotes. I'm going to paste this in. Code. Alright, after we've specified the PEM file, the next thing is to specify, since we're doing a single file, we're going to specify as an argument the file we're copying. So I'm going to type that in with the correct extension, obviously. Next argument is going to be the user and the DNS. So I'm using Amazon Linux, so I'm going to start with ec2-user at, copy this over. Again, this is also viewable. The DNS is at the bottom over here. It's just easier if you hit connect and copy it over. I'm going to go back to the bash, paste. Now after that comes a colon, followed by the path you want to copy to in your remote server. So I'm just going to use the squiggly line because I'm copying to the home directory. You can answer yes to this. And you see fairly quickly it copied over our file. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect to my remote instance in PuTTY. We're going to make sure, we're going to see if it copied properly, which it should have, so ls-la. And we can see that my quiz generator file, which I just copied, is now there. Now the next thing is to copy full directories in. Is going to be a little bit different. We're going to go to our Git Bash again. I'm just going to go ahead back to the C directory again. Now to copy a full directory is going to be a slightly different thing. We're going to again hit secure copy -I followed by our key pair file, our PEM file rather. Alright, now the difference here is I'm not just going to put in a single file as an argument. So what we're going to do is tell our machine to recursively copy in all these directories, and the way we're going to do that, we're just going to hit -R followed by the path to the directory we're going to copy. Now this Java directory and everything in it is going to be recursively copied onto our remote server. Now we're going to have to switch all these slashes over here because we're running a Linux server. Now the next thing, as before, is to specify this. So we're going to copy this again. Once again, we're going to hit the colon followed by our desired path. I'm going to put the squiggly line again. And we see rather quickly all of these files under that directory, while maintaining the directory structure, were copied to our remote server. So if I go back to our putty session where I have the server going, I'm going to hit this ls-la again. And now we can see Java. And just to show the directory structure is maintained, we started with the Java. That's the top because we specified over here the last directory in the path was Java. So that's going to be the top over here. Now let's just go down that route. And we see we're keeping the same directory structure as we had in our original machine. And there are all our files. Just to recap, we launched our instance, and if we want to copy a single file, we did secure copy. We went to the correct directory for our single file. We then did secure copy SCP-I space. We specified our key file, our PEM file, sorry. The next argument was the file to copy. We then put, because using Amazon Linux, EC2-user @ and then we stuck in the DNS as specified on the console. We then got this warning and answered yes, and we saw rather quickly it was copied. When we wanted to copy a directory, however, we did SCP-I, specified the key again, then we put a -r to specify we want to recursively copy in a directory. We're not doing a single file here. We then specified with the slashes in the correct direction because we're copying over to Linux. So I had to switch those around. We specified the path. Java, which was the last specified directory, lowest down, was then the top when we copied over. All these got copied. We went back to our putty session. We went all the way down the directory. We saw Java was the top. We went all the way down. We saw we maintained the same directory structure, and here are all of our files ready to be compiled and run, etc., as we would on our local machine. And the last thing we're going to do is, just because I didn't mention the last video, I'm going to show you guys if we want to keep all of these files which we've copied, but we don't want to keep our server running because then we're going to get billed for those hours, or if we're in free tier, they're going to count toward our free tier usage for the month. So we're going to select our instance, we're going to go to Actions, Instance State, and we're going to hit Stop. This is essentially the equivalent of shutting down your physical machine. This way we have shut it down, quote unquote, and we are not going to be billed for hours, but anything we have on this virtual machine is still maintained. Alright, now that it's stopped, now if I want to run again, I'm going to select Actions, Instance State, and I'm going to hit Start. Self-explanatory. Start. The last thing is, if we want to completely delete our virtual server, as opposed to simply stopping it, you're going to select Actions, Instance State, and Terminate. This is going to completely delete your instance and is not reversible.